and this is long overdue, but I'm about to talk to you guys a little bit about upcoming stuff and restore the Snyderverse and the beauty of Netflix and just a wonderful streaming service that gives you the freedom to see so many different kinds of movies. Variety is so great in Netflix. So I'm going to talk about all of that and some of the movies I got to catch up to and so on and so on. All right, in the background, of course, you're seeing Rebel Moon right there. Excellent movie, by the way. But let me start off by giving praise to the Most High God. Always the Most High God first. So let's get into it. And hopefully we can get through this stream, within a respectable amount of time. Okay, so first of all, I am what you need. I'm not what you need. Sorry, that's in my other channel. I am Christ, I am disciple. If you do, feel free to donate to this channel because we do not get any money from Google or from YouTube. We get money from your donations from you. So feel free to donate to our channel via PayPal. Okay, the link is in the description. I'll also at the end of the video also put it in the comment section for those of you who may be seeing this video after the stream. Okay, all right, let's get into it. So first of all, Most High comes first, and I want to read you guys from. I already did this on a short. I put this out in a short. So the scriptures again today. It's from John chapter 12, verse 24 says, "Unless a seed falls to earth and dies, it remains a single seed. But if it dies, it will produce many other new seeds because of so much fruit. It will produce a plentiful harvest of new lives." Again, it's taken from John chapter 12, verse 24 and 25, okay? Everybody always talks about not wanting to die and, death is a negative thing. But really and truly, without death, there would be no life. When an animal dies, it decays. Animals eat the animal. And because it decays, it forms soil. And because of soil, you get new plants. When a plant dies, same thing. You cannot not kill something to get life. You harvest the fruit from off of a tree. That fruit has living cells. Those living cells die when you eat it. Animals die to feed other animals. They eat them as food. The decomposed food in your stomach comes out as feces. That breaks down into soil. Your skin, the dead cells from your skin that fall off and become dust on the ground are useful for plants, for nutrition. Decaying leaves from plants form compost, which the plants then reabsorb the nutrients from to grow with. In short, it's a cycle. And death is necessary in this life to keep the life cycle going. And so, even more so, it sustains a lot more life than even when it was alive. Even though, I must say, we as living organisms, like myself, you, human beings, we're actually a composition of many, many individual cells, all with their own personalities and so on. It's trillions and trillions of cells make up us. So we're a composition of many other organisms or many other life forms. But in death, many other life forms get to feed off of us and to get sustained sustenance from us, and therefore we're able to multiply new life. So it's very important to understand that death has its place in this world today. And while it may feel somewhat foreign to us, it is something that is necessary in this life. In the next life, it will not be necessary. Now let's talk a little bit about Rebel Moon. First of all, I want to talk about Rebel Moon a little bit in the context of Rebel Moon as okay. Yeah. In the context of Palestine. Okay? So I'm using my laptop here to illustrate this. And this here was Washington, D.C.'s 40,000 march strong in support of the ceasefire in Gaza. A lot of people having the Palestinian flags there. People from all ethnicities, all different types of cultures, all different types of religions condescended on Washington, D.C. last weekend. And it was a tremendous event there. Now that pressure is being put on them. We also have the BDS movement. It's just relatively successful. Actually, has caused several major brands to pull out of Israel. Actually, of recent times. So there's a lot going on, and of course, we also have the legal arm of that. Hold on a second. We have the legal arm of it right now. South Africa has also made a case for the possibility of genocide that is happening by Israel on Palestine, because as we know, we're approaching 30,000, yes, 30,000 Palestinians being killed in Gaza, of which more than 2/3 of them are women and children. And it's just tremendously horrific what is happening there. And again, they talk about terrorism. Israel talks about terrorism with Hamas. What are you doing? You're not killing Hamas agents. You're killing mostly women and children. They're not Hamas agents. They may support Hamas, but that has absolutely nothing to do with them being targets. Hamas is not being affected much by anything. And so, it's very, very sad what's happening there. And it's sad because of all the countries of the world you would think such a thing would happen with. You don't expect Israel to be part of that, but they've been part of it for 75 years. They've had apartheid. They've had oppression. They've been oppressing these people and occupying their territories, using their resources and killing them. And we're talking about the extremist settlers. Now the world's catching up to it, and it's not enough for a ceasefire. I'm sorry, people. It's not enough for a ceasefire. What is necessary is a removal of the occupation of these people from those occupied territories. In fact, if I were to say anything, those particular kinds of people, the settlers and so on, should be put in prison by the Israeli system. The Israeli system should be imprisoning these people for crimes against humanity, for crimes, period. They've been breaking the law, and also the IDF has been breaking the law. Some people talking about an erasure of Israel from off the map and some other country coming into being. Maybe a good idea, actually, at this point in time, because the way how things are going now, I'm not saying every single Israeli is responsible for what's happening, but in some way, shape, or form, you're implicit in it. But you've been tormenting and mistreating these people for years. You took their land. You then, after that, after taking their land, and don't tell me about any Balfour Declaration or anything like that, because again, the British are very much responsible for what has happened. But even in the Balfour Declaration, Balfour clearly stated that it should not harm the people surrounding. If they form a state, they're not supposed to harm the people surrounding them, and he totally violated that. And for Israel to say, oh, well, the Arab states formed a war and they fought against Israel, and so we rightfully should have to. No, nobody has a right to displace people and then tell them they cannot return to their homeland. So that's bullshit. Okay, I cry bullshit on that. And a lot of Palestinians have gone to Jordan, Egypt, Syria, Lebanon. There have been a lot of Palestinians have been displaced. Lots, millions. Okay. And then you displace more Palestinians and send them to Gaza, and now you're trying to kill them. It's a death camp right now. It's not even a concentration camp anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's a death camp, and that's just wrong. So on so many different levels, it's wrong. But what I wanted to point out to you guys is this. I wanted to point out to you guys that Rebel Moon mirrors that. That's what I love about Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon is so timely. It actually came at a point in time where this is the story. The Rebel Moon is the story of Palestine right now, and the resistance. And Hamas is like Korah's little team that she's assembling to resist against the mother world, which is extremely powerful. Israel's an extremely powerful nation. Everybody knows that. Okay, they have a lot of influence all throughout the world, and they're using their influence through AIPAC and etc. to try and suppress certain information and not have certain things happen. And they're manipulating even leaders now. We have American leaders who are puppets to Israel and Zionists. Okay, and I'm not against, again, Jews. Obviously, I'm not against Jews. I have Jewish lineage. I'm not against Jews. I'm not against people living in Israel who have not done any of these atrocities, even though they are implicit in it because they're allowing these things to happen and they shouldn't. But there's a lot of Israelis who are against this, but their voices are being muffled, or they're being smothered, or they're being incarcerated, or their lives are being threatened by these extremist jihadists like right wing Israelis. I hate to call them jihadists, but they behave just like jihadists, extremists, extreme fundamentalists. And it's just ridiculous what's happening right now. They're trying to eliminate a whole set of people from off the planet, and this is wrong. They're trying to either get them to push them out, or they're trying to eliminate them. And shout out to the Palestinians for fighting back non-violently. Shout out to the Palestinians who fight back violently as well. They should not. Their land should. They should. The Palestinians have a right to defend themselves as well. And quite frankly, I support Hamas on what they have done, whether it's October 7th or whatever, because it's a strategic move that they needed to have. They needed to get the world's attention. They succeeded at doing that. And I'm more pro-Hamas now. Yeah, you can call me pro-Hamas now, even though I don't support everything that their ideals. I'm more pro-Hamas than I am pro-IDF or Israel or Netanyahu, 1,000%. Okay? Because these people, they're still coming from a place of oppression. Yes, there are people who are using this for political gain in Hamas, high up. But for the most part, the people on the ground, the people who are fighting this battle right now in Palestine, in Gaza, they're in the line of fire. You can't dirty them. I'm sorry. And whatever measures they take, whatever they have to take to get people's attention, to get people to focus on this, that's what they're doing. Now, with respect to Hamas, I know a lot of people don't want to defend Hamas. A lot of people don't want to talk about Hamas, but I'll say this about Hamas. From what I've seen so far of them, they're reasonable people. And even though they talk about, getting rid of the nation of Israel and stuff, I don't think they really mean it, because they backtracked on not getting involved in elections. They actually got involved in elections. And what was weird is Mr. Netanyahu was sending money to them, to disrupt Palestine. So I'm not going to be against Hamas. No, I'm tell you why. Netanyahu used them as a tool to try and divide Palestine, and Palestine needs to be united. And Hamas needs to work together with the PLA. And I noticed the PLA is not openly trying to criticize Hamas, because, of course, Fatah was also fighting with Hamas and getting hostages and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the PLA, the PLO, whatever you want to call them, Fatah, Hamas, all of these people, they are resisting occupation. And some of them are doing it in a much more civil way, and some are doing it in much more barbaric ways. But in all, they're just trying to get their people to exist, get their people not to be oppressed, which is what is happening. And once their people are not oppressed, Israel is, right now, most of the Israelis in Israel are not under attack. Okay? Their military is under attack by Hezbollah and the factions up in Syria, and they're attacked. Their ongoing war in the north. In the north, Hezbollah has taken some of the north cities and towns. Nobody's talking about that, but that's what's happening. Israel's trying to get America involved. Iran is starting to kick into gears, and we're going to have a big shebang if you don't watch it. The Houthis are doing their thing. There's this line of resistance, and they're resisting colonial oppression. They're like, no, we had this long enough. The Ottoman Empire under Turkey, I think Turkey is going to resist as well. I think China's already siding with those countries, and Russia's probably siding with those countries. And again, I got so much to say about Russia. Russia, we're learning now Russia actually doesn't really want to go to war with anybody. Okay? But they're ending up having to go to war. And yes, Vladimir Putin has done a lot of war crimes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it pales in comparison what America's greenlighting with Israel on Palestine right now. It's just looking ugly. And the Britain backing them, it just looks terrible. It looks awful. And that's why South Africa had had to put this case before the International Criminal Court of Justice. Had to. And Israel has so far not debunked a single thing. Okay? They're going on with their victim mentality stuff when most of the Israelis never been in the Holocaust. The direct descendants of the Holocaust survivors are mostly in the United States of America. You have some 1 or 2 or 3 of them that's inside of Israel, but most of those Israelis came from Russia even. They're Russians, they're Germans. Some of them were actually involved in causing the Holocaust on other Jews. Some of these Zionists actually are of the mindset that if you can't defend yourself, too bad, you should be destroyed. So they're actually anti-Jew. A lot of Zionists are anti-Jew. A lot of them have not, their families haven't gone through the Holocaust, their lineage. So the people that are there are more Nazi-like, and everybody can see it now, than the people who actually went through Holocaust or had family that went through Holocaust, who can identify with the Palestinians at this point in time. So the whole world is revolted by what's happening, and it's a matter of time before, first of all, I believe the United Nations, and I do believe when the International Criminal Court condemns the actions of Israel, I think that gives the United Nations the power and authority to step in there and to intervene with their peacekeeping forces. So I think what South Africa is doing is good. I don't know if the system with the UN is, I think it's broken because of the veto powers of the United States, China, and all these countries. But United Nations could probably disband and form some other thing, because it's very important that the rest of the world has autonomy from the United States and all these superpowers. They must have autonomy to be able to take action. If these superpowers don't want to abide by the rules of international law, and obviously the rules of international law are violated, I don't really give a damn what America says or what their spin people say. They've been violated. And it's interesting just watching the Mother World with Atticus Noble take the power and authority and law of the Mother World with him, and just commit genocide, commit murder, and so on, right in front of murder leaders, in front of people boldly, because the Mother World gives them the authority. And I feel like that's the kind of barbaric tycoonism that Israel is doing right now, because they think they have America by the balls because of AIPAC and their elections, and America must abide by everything they say. And then on top of that, Joe Biden is a Zionist himself, so it's just the worst thing ever. So what has to happen is, we have to keep on standing up. The BDS movement, I have not supported a single product since I found out about the BDS movement. Not a single product that comes from any country that is financing or has business or commerce amongst the settler occupation, the occupied settlements, or equipping or arming settlers, or promoting the IDF army in occupation. Okay, I have not supported a single one of those things, and I will continue that stand with BDS. I have to inform the different people, whether it's Starbucks, whether it's Gullion, whether it's this company, I forgot what the name of it is. I'm not supporting any of them, and you can be assured of that. And we got to take a stand. Some of us will take it non-violently. Some of us will take it violently. If you're in Palestine, in combat zones, etc. But the wanton wickedness and evil that these people have been doing, bombing places where people have assembled, safe zones they've been bombing, it's about time we take a stand. And Israel needs to have a no-fly zone. They need to stop the same thing they've done with the same thing they've done to these Islamic nations, or these Palestinian nations, where they can't have any fly zone. Israel needs to have a no-fly zone, and they need to have peacekeeping forces in the skies to make sure that they are not allowed to bomb anymore. And that's as much as I can say about that. Now let's get into some of the other stuff there. It's really fun to get into here. There we go. So yeah, this was DC here. All right, let me talk a little bit about, first of all, Netflix. So I did see Red Notice. It was great. It's kind of like a little bit of espionage mixed with a little bit of course, it's a heist movie, and heist movies do pretty good. I could see why this was one of the number one highest viewed movies on Netflix. It was actually pretty fun. It had a couple little twists. It had some little humor. It had everything in it. And it was a fun movie to see. It wasn't as predictable. Again, a fun little movie. Gal Gadot was excellent in it. She with a little twist, and she's stealing, and they're stealing from each other, and that kind of stuff. And it's all high witted. Actually, no murder in the movie. Well, I think there was somebody died in the movie, but I can't remember who. But it was really fun to watch. Um, to see these three on the screen was fun. I'd love to see them hook up again sometime. Don't do a sequel, do something else. But it would be nice to see all the chemistry between all three of them was fun as well. So I really had a good time with this movie. I'd recommend it. You guys should check out Red Notice. It's a heist movie, kind of like Army of Thieves, but Army of Thieves kind of ended on a sad note, whereas this one does not end on a sad note. They continue their heisting. So that's quite a lot of fun right there. Okay, so let me get to the last thing here that we're going to go through, which is Zack Snyder's Justice League. So this has been just an incredible movie for me and an incredible experience. I haven't watched it recently, but this has had a tremendous impact. I think it's still Zack Snyder's best movie. Rebel Moon's good. I don't know how the second part of it is. The first part kind of sets up the second part. And, but it's very relevant. And I would love to see the second part, The Scar Giver, which is coming out, I think, in March. So, or April, I can't remember which one. But it's good. I like it. The people who are saying this movie is bad or it's a collage of other movies or whatever, y'all guys, I don't know what's wrong with you. Some people were saying that the movie was too fast paced, that I couldn't invest in the characters. Again, you're being nitpicky. You know what I mean? It was a good run. I enjoyed it. Didn't get to see it on this screen, so I'm probably going to look at it on this screen, a bigger screen. um, some people are saying the graphics weren't that great. It depends on what package you bought for Netflix. If you bought the 4K package, it's probably going to look good. If you were seeing it on this, it probably looks good. On my phone, it doesn't look that great because I have a certain kind of phone. But on your laptop or on your TV screen, I'm sure it looks fine. Um, I would say that Rebel Moon, again, just a tremendous movie with so much richness in it. Of course, I'm sure the rated R version is superior. It's superior to the current version. By the way, has anybody been tracking Rebel Moon to see how many views it has now? I'm pretty sure it's close to 80 million views. I wouldn't be surprised. I do want to go see it again, but there's so many other things I have to do on my plate that we'll see if I can get that entertainment in. I do have to go see a movie with my cousin, so hopefully we can do that before the end of this week. He has a break this week. But this particular movie I really enjoy a lot because, again, Zack Snyder's take on these characters is so real and so relevant. And so I look forward to seeing his other two sequels of this movie. He has two other sequels to this, to Justice League. I think that's my excuse my yawn. I think that's my pursuit. My pursuit is now to see the completion of this. I don't care about the Ayer cut anymore. David Ayer has just been behaving bafflingly stupid, so I'm done with him. But I do want to see the rest of this and any spin-offs, anything, Atom, Cyborg movie. Um, they're doing a Green Lantern movie, so I don't really care about that. But I do want to see more of the Green Lanterns in Zack Snyder's world. So however this happens, whether it's through Universal, whether it's through Netflix, I'm really sold on Netflix right now. I still have to finish watching the whole entire season of the Blue Eyed Samurai. You guys should check that out. It's really good. The animation, the graphics. There's so much on Netflix to see. So, you can take your pick. But anyways, this is what I've got for you guys. I do want to see more of this. I do want to see Patty Jenkins get back in the driver's seat with proper people around her, proper story, and put our airtight Wonder Woman movie. I don't know if that'll ever possibly happen, but that's something I would like to see as well. I'd love to see a proper Flash movie, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. What I do think can happen is we can still see the Atom movie. I think we can still see sequels to Zack Snyder's Justice League and Ben Affleck's Batman movie. I would love to see those things happen, really. There's a lot more I would love to see, but if I could just get the sequels to this, Ben Affleck's Batman movie, and maybe an Atom movie or Cyborg movie, I'll be fine, you know. So that's what I got for you guys. We still push on with Restore the Snyderverse. I think that we should not give up. I see some of you guys still speaking about it. I'm not going to be pushing the Ayer cut anymore. David Ayer has pretty much sunk himself. He's been kissing butt, you know, with Warner Brothers and with David, whatever the guy's name is. I can't remember. Guardians of the Galaxy guy. But I'm looking forward to seeing Zack Snyder's Justice League, wherever it comes out, the sequels. I really want to see that. I know the actors have moved on quite a lot, but it's still possible for that project to happen, and I do want to see that project happen. So we will be pushing for it. Shout out to each and every one of you guys who subscribe to my channel and support it. Don't forget that you can donate via PayPal. The link is in the description as well. You can also donate via the comment section after this stream is over. Well, this was a long overdue stream. I'm sorry I couldn't stream sooner. I know I'm supposed to stream like 8 o'clock every night, but that didn't work out. This is somewhat of an impromptu stream. This is when I get the time to put it in. So I put it in for you guys. I hope you guys have a good one. Oh, we're going to also have some more music back on What You Need. We're going to bring some more content to you guys very soon. So look out for that. Not What You Need. Sorry, my bad. Christ I Am Disciple. I've spent so much time on What You Need. That's another one of my channels. So this is What You Need in this Christ I Am Disciple. We'll try and get the content better. We'll try not to curse as much. We'll try to really just be very progressive with things. But you guys can always reel back this video and watch it. Shout out to the 4KO. That's a good guy out there. Pick a shade. Shout out to you. Shout out to Damian Anton Vincent and several other subscribers who come to my channel regularly. I'm sorry I didn't have content for you guys for a little while, but we'll be back up and popping very, very soon. So stay tuned. I'm going to catch you guys later. I am Christ, I am Disciple. God be with you guys today. Success to you in everything, and peace. Okay, that's that. Gotta eat something with the plans. Out the road we go. Okay. Oh, it's still rolling. That's crazy.